Namaskaram friends. So in this video, I am going to talk about 5 important issues of environment, ecology, biodiversity and climate change. And these issues are very important because we know that nowadays climate change become a very serious issue. And it threatens the life of a human being, it threatens plant, it threatens animal, glacier, what temperature of ocean is rising, glacier is melting, and it causes many problems like greenhouse gas effect, ozone layer depletion. All these are, when we combine all these things, they are contributed to the climate change. So nowadays, it is very important for us to understand the climate change and also take action to mitigate this and restrict this at a potential which it is currently spread, and also try to mitigate it at a minimum level at which human being is thriving and living a good full-fledged life. So nowadays, it is very important for us to understand environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, and try to solve their problem as quickly as possible on a global platform, on a national platform, on a regional platform, as well as on an individual basis. Okay. So now let's talk about important issues of environment, ecology, and biodiversity. First one is phosphorus and phosphorus cycle. In this section, we are going to talk about phosphorus and its phosphorus cycle. Second one is ecosystem services. What are ecosystem services? What are its types? Third one is POPs, persistent organic pollutant. Fourth one is alpha and beta diversity, and fifth one is e-waste. So these are important topics of today's discussion. Okay, remember the name. These are very important. POPs are very significant because it causes a problem for the biodiversity of the marine life. Alpha and beta diversity are important for understanding the biodiversity of a region. E-waste is important for pollution and other hazards for the human life. Ecosystem services are important for the understanding the biodiversity and environment in its true form, and phosphorus cycle, and what are importance of this cycle in agriculture in the life of human being. Okay, so let's talk about first one, phosphorus and phosphorus cycle. See, the main storage of phosphorus is in the earth crust. Okay, when you look at the picture of the earth, so earth crust, this I'm sorry, just this green one is a earth crust. Okay, not green one, you can say the colorful one is the earth crust. Okay, and the main storage of the phosphorus is in this region. Okay, on land, phosphorus is usually found in the form of phosphate. On land, you see phosphorus. We found phosphorus in the form of the phosphates. Okay, when you found phosphate on the land, see, just understand it is a phosphorus which is found on the land. It occurs in large amount as a mineral in phosphate rock. Okay, in phosphate rock, we found it as a mineral. We found phosphorus in a phosphate rock as a mineral, and enter the cycle from erosion and mining activity. When we mine the rock, or due to erosion, like when rain is happening, when wind is blowing at a high speed. So due to erosion and due to mining, these minerals which are embedded in the phosphate rock are enter into the cycle. By the process of weathering and erosion, phosphates enter river and stream that transport them to the ocean. Okay, you know that due to weathering and erosion, these phosphate, which phosphorus, we know that phosphorus is present as a mineral in the phosphate rock. So due to weathering and erosion, this phosphate rock releases phosphorus, and it enters in the river and the streams, and then these rivers and streams transported this phosphorus to the oceans. Being an important nutrient, phosphorus promotes eutrophication in lakes. Okay, we know that phosphorus is a nutrient. You know that in agriculture, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So this phosphorus is an important nutrient, and it promotes the eutrophication. Eutrophication means when nutrition is present in a large number in a river or in a water body, then life form on that places grow at a very high speed, and they cover the entire region in a very less span of time. Okay. Along with nitrogen-related compound, it leads to undesirable situation like algae bloom. Algae are, you can say, grow at a in a very large number in a very short span of time in a very small area. Okay, so along with nitrogen-related compound. Okay, so phosphorus along with nitrogen-related compound lead to the undesirable situation called algae bloom. Algae bloom is not a, you can say, boon for us. It is a very disastrous stressor for the other life which are surviving in the marine ecosystem. Okay. You can clearly see this is a picture of phosphorus cycle. Okay, phosphorus rock formation enter into the river stream. That river stream transported this into the ocean, and then it, due to algae bloom and due to eutrophication, it causes a problem for the marine life. Okay, let's move on to the second one called ecosystem services. There are four major categories of ecosystem services: provisioning, regulating, cultural, and supporting services. In briefly, we are going to talk about each term in a brief manner. So first one is provisioning service. What is provisioning service? Provisioning service is any type of benefit to the people that can extract it from the nature. Okay, when people extract anything from the nature for their benefit, that is called provisioning. Like food, we can say we extract food from the nature, like in terms of fruit, in terms of grain, in terms of vegetables. Other types of provisioning services in food, drinking water. Okay, we extract drinking water from the nature. We collect timber from the nature, wood as a fuel from the nature, natural gas from the nature. You know, natural gas is embedded in the rock, so we extract natural gas from the nature. We cut the tree and collected wood from the nature. We use timber for the furniture making. We extracted drinking water for our drinking. We extracted oils, plant that can be made into cloths and other minerals like cotton. Medicinal benefit, this different types of herbs and syrups, which are, you can say, play an important role in medicine. So we can extract food, water, timber, water, fuel, natural gas, oil, plant that are made, can be made into cloths and other materials and medicinal plants. So all these things we extracted from the nature. So these all are come under the provisioning service. Provisioning service, anything we benefited from extracting anything from the nature is come under the provisioning service. Next one is regulating services. A regulatory service is the benefit provided by ecosystem process that moderate natural phenomena. Okay, ecosystem itself provide us a benefit by moderating the natural phenomena like flood, drought, cyclone. So nature moderate these types of natural phenomena and provide a benefit to us. Okay, so regulatory system include like pollination. Okay, bee move from one plant to another plant, and through pollination we know that fruit is occurring on the plant. You can say plants on trees. So this is a moderate natural phenomena by the ecosystem itself, like decomposition. Okay, water purification, water purified by you can say by minerals and by different herbs and stuff which are found in the earth, which are found in the Himalayas, which are found in the other mountainous region. Due to erosion, we know that many different land forms are formed, and we know that due to erosion, phosphorus enter into the water cycle, and at many time it also benefit for us. Flood control, it control the flood. Okay, that means not one region is flooded with water more than other, or flooded with water and causes a problem, so it control the flood. Carbon storage, nature, we know that soil is the most important resource for carbon storage. And climate regulation, it also regulates the climate by changing its weather and by changing its season. So these are the example of regulatory services. Regulatory services, the benefit provided by ecosystem process that moderate natural phenomena. Okay, so ecosystem provide benefit to us. Okay, these are pollination, decomposition, water purification, erosion, flood control, carbon storage, and climate regulation. Next one is cultural service. What is cultural service? A cultural service is a non-material benefit. See, above two one is a material benefit, but cultural service is a non-material benefit that contribute to the development and cultural advancement of the people. Okay, so cultural services is contribute to the development and cultural advancement of the people, including how ecosystem play a role in local, national, and global culture. Okay, so cultural service basically a non-physical, non-material benefit. It contribute to our development and as well as cultural advancement of the people, and including how this ecosystem play a role in local, national, and global cultures. The building of knowledge and spreading of ideas are the important component of the cultural services. Okay, we build knowledge through nature as well as we spread ideas with the help of nature. Creativity born from interaction with nature, like music, art, architecture. We build any architecture, we inspire from the nature. Art, we pay attention on the nature, and different arts and music is automatically come in our mind, or we inspire from the nature for creating music and art. So creativity born from interaction with nature. When we interact with many people, when you see many great people, they are interacted more with nature because they you can say collect energy from the nature and apply this energy in their life, in their work. Okay. So interaction, creativity born from interaction with nature is also a form of a cultural services. Recreation, when we are, you can say, exhaust from our work, we go to the nature and relax for some time. So recreation is also type of cultural services. Next, last one is supporting services. Ecosystem themselves could not be sustained without the consistency of undergoing natural process. We know that below our planet Earth, there are many different types of natural processes are going on, and these are very important for the thriving of ecosystem. So an ecosystem themselves could not be sustained without the consistency of underlying natural process. And these natural processes are like photosynthesis, formation of food, nutrient cycle, providing nutrition from one part of the body to another part of the plant, creation of soil. We know that soil is deteriorated after some amount of time. So on a regular basis, creation of new soil is come up and old soil is go down in these types of cycle is going on. And then water cycle, water moving from upwelling and downwelling in ocean. We know that water come from one region to another region from they you can move from mountainous region to plain, and they along with them come along with water, you can say medicinal plant, herbs and shrubs are come and water become purified. So water cycle, creation of soil, photosynthesis and nutrient cycle is a form of supporting services. So four important services are provisioning, regulating, cultural and supporting. Okay. Provisioning, we take benefit. Regulating, nature gives us a benefit. Cultural, provide us a, you can say, a building of knowledge and spreading of ideas, and also for our development, cultural development, and supporting services which nature underlying natural processes are formed under the supporting services. So in this picture, you can clearly see four pillars regulating, like air quality, climate, water, runoff, erosion, natural hazards, pollution are come under regulating. The ecosystem regulate them for our benefit. Cultural, it provides for the development of the development and cultural growth of a human being, like ethnic values, existence value, recreation, ecotourism. Supporting it supported the like supporting that means underlying underlying what it is underlying natural system support the ecosystem. Underlying natural phenomena support the ecosystem. These are nutrient cycling, water cycling, soil formation, and photosynthesis. And provisioning, it provide when human beings, or you can say human beings or other life forms take benefit from the nature, like in terms of food, fiber, biomass, fuel, fresh water, and natural resources. And you know that cultural one is a non-materialistic one. Okay, so I hope you understand the four types of ecosystem services. Next one is POP, persistent organic pollutant. See, source of pollution from POP include the improper use and disposal of agrochemicals and industrial material. When we, you can say, dispose in an improper way of agri-chemicals and industrial chemicals, this form under the pollution from POP. This come under the POP. Okay. So remember, improper use or disposal. It is important. Improper use and disposal of agrochemicals and industrial chemicals are formed under the POP. Elevated temperature and combustion processor are also formed under the POP. When temperature is increased, it created many pollution in the marine ecosystem because many animals are died. They are not surviving in that high temperature. So elevated temperature and combustion process, when you combustion take place, it pollute the air and many life forms are not surviving in that polluted environment and they may die. Another negative impact on the nature and the climate. So combustion process, elevated temperature, improper disposal of agrochemicals and industrial chemicals form under the POPs. Unwanted byproducts of industrial process or combustion. Unwanted byproduct. Let's say, so let's say if H2 is a byproduct, we want it, but some byproducts which are hazardous for us, we do not want it. So unwanted byproducts and of industrial processes. Industrial process take place, so unwanted byproduct of industrial processes or combustion are also formed under the POP. So remember 6 important points which form under the POP are improper disposal of agrochemicals and industrial chemicals. Okay, improper disposal of agro and industrial chemicals, elevated temperature and combustion process, and unwanted byproduct of the industrial process and combustion. All these 3 are formed under the POPs. Okay, in this picture you can clearly see sources of POPs are from industry, from agriculture practices, from vehicle exhaust, from volcanoes, as well as from solid waste or landfill sites. So these are the important source of pollutants. And now let's move on to the next topic called alpha and beta diversity. See, alpha is the diversity within an ecosystem. If there are two ecosystems, so within ecosystem, let's say this first ecosystem, second ecosystem. So within an ecosystem is called alpha diversity, which is generally described as the number of species. How many number of species are present in one ecosystem is called alpha diversity. In this picture, through this picture, you can clearly see there are three types of ecosystem. So here four types of different species are there. So alpha diversity is 4. Here two types of different species there. So alpha diversity is 2. Here three types of different species there. So alpha diversity is 3. Okay. So this one is alpha diversity. Alpha diversity within an ecosystem is generally describe the number of species. Beta diversity involves the comparison of different ecosystem in an environment gradient. Okay, if there are two ecosystems, so alpha diversity compare these two ecosystems. For example, in a mountainous area within a coastal area. Okay, within a coastal area two ecosystems, mountainous one and coastal one. So we compare the two ecosystems. In this picture, you can clearly see beta diversity, first ecosystem, second ecosystem, third ecosystem. So we compare the biodiversity of, or you can say, we talk about now. We compare the two ecosystems, and it is beta one is not within, it is between. That means if we see two ecosystem 1 and 2, so number of species in ecosystem 1 is 4. Or you can say alpha diversity of first one is 4, alpha diversity second one is 2. But when we compare them, we know that this yellow one is common. Okay, so green one, blue one, red one, and then star one. These four are different species which are not common in these two ecosystems. So beta diversity is 4. That means species which are common we are not counting it. It's species which are different or not common in both one, we count in a beta diversity. So beta diversity is basically a comparison. Beta diversity involves the comparison of the two ecosystem in an environment gradient, for example, in a mountainous area within a coastal ecosystem. Beta diversity so is the size of change of species. Okay, let's say here and here. Here 4 species are found, here 3 species are found. 4 or 1 are different. Okay, and here let's say third one, but 2 of them and are common. So we are not counting common, we are counting only different one. Okay, so beta diversity. So the size of the change of the species from one ecosystem to another. How much change happened within between an ecosystem of the number of species is counted under the beta. Gamma diversity refers to the total diversity of a region. That means geographic diversity. That means there are 3 ecosystems. We count the total diversity. If there is a common one between in all the 3, we do not include it. So gamma diversity refers to the total diversity of a region. Okay, alpha one is within, beta one is between, and gamma one is a total. It is the sum of the alpha diversity of various ecosystems. Gamma diversity because gamma diversity is the sum of the alpha diversity of various ecosystems. Okay, in this picture you can clearly see gamma diversity of this ecosystem is different types of biodiversity. Let's say common one in all the 3 is, I think no one is common, no? But common between this is this one. Common between this is, so here alpha is 4, here is 3, here is 2. So total 4 and 2, 9. But we know that common one is blue one. Blue one is common, so we remove 1. Total 9, but we remove 1 due to blue. We remove yellow one, and here we remove red one. So we remove 3, so we got 6. Okay, so gamma diversity is 6 because you know that in ecosystem 3 and 1, red one is common. In ecosystem 1 and 2, this yellow one is common, and ecosystem 2 and 3, this I'm sorry, no, here also. Here ecosystem 1 and 3, blue and red both are common. Okay, and here 1 and 3, 1 and 2, yellow one is common. So 3 are common. So we are not calculating it. So in ecosystem 1, if you see this, just erase it. So alpha diversity basically within, beta is between, and gamma 1 is a total diversity. Okay. So this is a very, this picture shows a very good example of this diversity. Here 4 different, so 4. Here 2 different. Number is 4, but all these 3 are common. So there are 2 only, which are different. Here this number is 4, but this 2 is common. So here 3. In between, in beta, we know that common one is yellow one. Okay, so common one is yellow one. And these 3 are same. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So 4 beta diversity. Here, we know that blue one is common, red one is common. So these 2 are common. We are not counting it. So different one is 1, 2, and 3. Beta is 3. Here we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 types of beta because nothing is common. So beta diversity is between. Gamma one is total diversity within an ecosystem. Okay, if we excluded common one. Okay, so gamma 1 is 6. So I hope you understand. In this picture, you can clearly see between beta diversity, within beta diversity, between beta, I'm sorry, within alpha diversity, between beta diversity and total gamma diversity. So I hope you understand alpha, beta, and gamma diversity. Now let's move on to the last topic called e-waste. See, beryllium, cadmium, chromium, mercury, and lead. Remember the name. Mercury, lead, very commonly used. Cadmium, chromium, and beryllium. Beryllium is not commonly used, but lead, mercury, and cadmium, chromium are very commonly used. So beryllium, cadmium, chromium, mercury, and lead are majorly released into the environment as a e-waste. Okay, so these are the major component of e-waste in the environment. Hepture is an insecticide. Remember, if any option in your option, if hepture is come, you clearly understand hepture is an insecticide and do not mark into it into a e-waste or any other category. So hepture is an insecticide. Plutonium is a radioactive and hence not used in a day-to-day computer electronic item. So plutonium is a radioactive, not used in the electronics item. Heptacide is an insecticide. There is no way of using this in the electronic sector. So important e-waste occurring, e-waste generating material or e-waste generating, you can say metals are beryllium, cadmium, chromium, mercury, and lead. So in this picture, you can clearly see e-waste, electronic waste or e-waste, and it is a fastest growing waste stream. Okay, so I hope you understand all 5 topics. And in summary, if summarize these 4 topics, these 5 topics. So 5th one is e-waste. 4th one is alpha, beta, gamma diversity. First one is ecosystem services. Third one is, I just forget. Okay, POP. Third one is POPs, and this one is a phosphorus and phosphorus cycle. So in summary wise, phosphorus and phosphorus cycle are basically this time. It is mainly found in the earth crust, and it moves due to erosion, weathering, and mining. This and also it is phosphorus found in the earth crust, and on the land we found phosphorus in the rock, in the phosphate rock. Okay, phosphate rock, and due to erosion, weathering, and mining, this phosphate rock go into the river, stream, and other water bodies in the in the water bodies in the form of phosphorus, and then go into the ocean. Due to this phosphorus, along with nitrogen, algae bloom and eutrophication happen, which is very dangerous for the marine life form. Okay. Ecosystem services, four types of services: provisioning, regulating, cultural, regulating, provisioning, regulating, cultural, and I think sustaining, or some fourth one is I think sustaining one or other thing. Provision, basically we take benefit out of nature like food, extracting water, drinking water. Regulating, nature is regulate itself and control, like flood, pollination, cultural like recreation, development and cultural advancement. Just, I think I forgot fourth one. There's not, you can say different name. I just forgot. Fourth one is supporting. Yeah, I'm sorry. So for not sustaining, supporting. Okay, that means uh, natural phenomena occurring within the earth is a form of supporting, like soil formation. Okay, water nutrition cycle, water cycle are all the form of supporting ecosystem. POP is persistent organic pollutant. We know that these are persistent organic pollutant. These are very dangerous for our environment and we have to control it in a better manner for the sustainability and for the sustainable development of the environment. So we have to reduce it. We have to reduce the POPs. Here you can see sources of POPs are solid waste landfill, volcano, vehicle, agriculture practices, and producing processing from the industry. Okay. So like agrochemicals, industrial chemicals are from the form of POPs. Okay. Agrochemical, industrial chemical, volcanoes. Okay. You can say air from the vehicles, all this from the form POPs. Alpha, beta, gamma diversity, you know that alpha is within, beta is between, and gamma is total one. Are the measure of biodiversity. E-waste, beryllium, cadmium, chromium, okay, lead and mercury are major metal which are releases from the electronic components and these form of e-waste. Okay, so now let's move on. Now we are going to solve 5 questions based on these e-waste. Okay. So we are going to solve 5 questions based on these 5 topics. First one is consider the following statement regarding phosphorus and phosphorus cycle. First one is phosphorus cycle is largely atmospheric and easily dissolved in water and air. No, it is largely, you can say, not atmospheric, it is largely land-based. This one is wrong. Phosphorus occurs as a mineral in a phosphate rock and enter the phosphorus cycle from erosion and mining activity. Yes, this one is correct. Phosphorus is responsible for excessive growth of rooted and free-floating microscopic plant in the water body here because it is responsible for algae bloom as well as eutrophication. So these things are formed after eutrophication. So this one is also correct. 2 is correct, 3 is correct. That means 2 option is correct. So 2 pair is correct. So B, option B is correct. Only 2. Just check we're on the right path or not. B is correct. Only 2 is correct. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Consider the following. Let's say which of the following are considered as ecosystem services. First one is erosion and flood control. Yes, erosion and flood control come under regulating services. Building of knowledge and spreading of ideas, cultural services. Recreation of soil, supporting services. Water purification, I think this one is also supporting services. So all the option 1, 2, 3, 4 are correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option D is correct. Option D is correct. That means we are on the right path. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following are the source of persistent organic pollutant or POPs? Elevated temperature and combustion process. Yes. Elevated temperature, it harm the life forms. Combustion process also harm the pollution, created pollution and harm the life form. This one is a part of it. Improper use and disposal of agrochemicals. Yes. Unwanted byproduct of industrial processes. All the 3 are the sources of POPs. So all 3. That means option C is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option C is correct. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statement regarding alpha and beta diversity. Alpha diversity, the diversity within an ecosystem, yes, which is generally described as the number of species, yes. Beta diversity is the geographical diversity, which refers to the total diversity of a region. It is a gamma diversity. So this one is wrong only. Which of the statement is incorrect? 2 is incorrect. That means option B is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option B is correct. Now let's move on to the next question for e-waste. Due to the improper indiscriminate disposal of old and used computer or their parts, which of the following are majorly released into the environment as e-waste? Beryllium, yes. Cadmium, yes. Chromium, yes. Capsular, it is an insecticide. Mercury, yes. Lead, yes. Plutonium, it is a radioactive. So 4 and 7 are incorrect. All other are correct. So 5. So only 5. How many of the options are correct? Only 5. That means option B is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option B is correct. That means we're on the right path. So I hope you love this video, you enjoy this video, and gain some perspective, some knowledge out of it. So namaskaram. Thank you. Keep growing, keep learning, keep learning, keep growing. That's all.